in the South, your successes decide your future. Like if you have flops back to back, you might not get a film. Like no matter how talented or good looking you are, it really doesn't matter. Looks can only take you so far. Of course, they'll take you somewhere. Then there are connections. Then there are obviously people who promote their own kids, which is fine. I mean, it's completely fair. I'll promote my child if I have one. Some films where you just get replaced without really being told also, that hits you because you're like, at least have the courtesy to tell me. It's been fabulous working with Ajay sir. In fact, I would love to do a film with him. That's what I was telling him. I said, sir, now the first season is released. I mean, people are really like, I'm ready. Now we have to do a film. Hi guys, it's me Raashii Khanna. Catch my interview only on ETimes. Do watch and subscribe.
Hi, this is Amina Sheikh here, and with me today I have the gorgeous, stunning Raashii Khanna, who's of course doing a lot of roles, not only in Bollywood but also in the Tamil industry, Telugu industry, Malayalam industry, and I don't know, I really want to know more about her. Welcoming her on ETimes.
Hello, Samina. So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you, and Rashi, it's quite good to know that you have explored so many different industries in the Indian cinema.
Yes.
How does that feel?
I think it feels amazing to have tapped all the industries, and because every time you work in a certain industry, in a certain language, you become closer to those people. And I think dubbed versions are very different, but when you learn that language and you speak in that language, I think you come into their hearts, and that's exactly what I've done in the South, and I hope to do that in the North as well now. Yeah.
But also, as you started your career with John Abraham, and now eventually the way you have grown, when you look back at your journey to what you are right now, how does that feel?
I think it's very nice. It's a very nice feeling. I never thought I'll get this far. I think I was somebody who had put limitations on my own self, considering I never had anybody's back in this industry. There was no godfather, there was nobody guiding me, and I had to take my own steps. I had to understand it, and I knew nothing about the industry, how it works. I think I was just honest with my work, and I thought, okay, I'll just work hard and let's see where it takes me. And today I'm here, and I've started back again from where I started, in Hindi again. So I think it's all God's grace also somewhere, I feel, because I really believe in God, and I think it's His grace and probably a bit of my hard work. Yeah, it feels great. It really feels nice.
As you said, of course, it feels great and nice the way things are with you. At the same time, where were the hiccups, and how did you deal with those hiccups?
So initially, I think in the South, your successes decide your future. Like if you have flops back to back, you might not get a film. Like no matter how talented or good looking you are, it really doesn't matter. What matters is the ratio of your success. And there was a phase where I had flops. Everybody has flops. And I was never, of course I was a little sad, it's just human, but I have so much faith in myself that I was always like, no, but I will get through it. There were times I was getting films which I didn't want to be a part of, and I absolutely said no. And that is one thing I learned from John. In the beginning of my career, he said, Rashi, learn to say when to say no and take that seriously in your life. And that's exactly what I did in my professional life. Like there were times, where to fill in a gap, you think you're sitting at home, let me just do it. I didn't do those things. Like I waited it out. And that's always been my thing, to be a part of a film only if I'm convinced that I want to do it. And that's really helped me come so far. So of course there have been hiccups, and there have been places where I've thought that, where is this going? Maybe it'll end. You always have those kind of questions. But I think I would say that it's also my self-belief that has led me to where I am today.
Rashi, also, as we talk about your work, your recent work with Ajay Devgn has been praised a lot.
Yes.
How was it working on this project?
I was shit scared. I'll tell you why, because it's a very eccentric character firstly. Then the look of it is quite crazy. The whole point of giving me red hair or to do that makeup that I have in the series was to make her look eccentric. And now that can go down very well also, and that can go down very badly also. So of course there was this thing that if it releases, I don't know, I was nervous, and the South audience has always seen me as somebody who's like a girl next door, we'll fall in love with, take her home. And suddenly when they see me in this, they're like, who's this girl, So I had that fear that they might also not like it. I don't know how the Hindi audience is going to react to it, but somewhere, as I said, I have self-faith. I was like, I will convince convince them with the character. I will convince them with my acting. And I think that's exactly what has happened. And I'm very thankful that it's happened. That, people have not seen Rashi, they've seen Alia, the character. And that's happened to me for the first time. So I think the experience has been great of portraying somebody like her, a sociopath like her. And I don't think these characters come to women so very often. So I think I've just been very lucky and I've had the opportunity to play her, and it's been fabulous. Yeah.
Did the metaverse world interest you somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, the first question I had was, what happens in metaverse? Like, I think I was just
It's something very different.
Yeah, and I was like, what is that? Like, what do you do in that? And I had played some game where you put that up and you actually feel like you're in that world. There was a zombie killing something. I had gone with my friends and I had done that, but I didn't know we could do it with films or we could create a virtual world like this. And it's I don't know whether to feel good about it or bad about it, because I'm like, we're just heading towards using more and more technology. Of course, there are pros, but there's so many cons, and I don't know how to feel because I think we are in that generation who's just in that transition. So we don't understand whether to be very happy about it or to be like, no, just calm down, just don't keep doing things,
In fact, sometimes imagine if we have interviews in metaverse format.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah. But I think human to human interaction like this is much better than, being in the metaverse and talking to like avatars and stuff. I still prefer this.
But did you get your Valentine's gift from Ajay Devgn then finally?
Oh, no. No gifts. I think he'll have me chase him down in the second season again. Yeah, but no gift, yeah.
But you're lucky somewhere he didn't play a single prank on you.
I mean, I got to know later that he is somebody who really plays pranks on his co-star.
I think he's saving himself somewhere for the second season.
Maybe he'll be like, Abhi, let her just warm up and then I'll show her in the second season. But I think it's been fabulous working with Ajay sir. In fact, I would love to do a film with him. That's what I was telling him. I said, sir, now the first season is released. I mean, people are really like, I'm Jodi, now we have to do a film. Like, let the seasons be, but like, let's just do a film where I'm normal, not like the psychopath that I play.
Actually, what difference do you see in, Bollywood versus South industry? In terms of their, working patterns, in terms of the way they have conversations, what difference do you see? And do you somewhere feel struggle over here is more as compared to the South industry?
See, I think the struggle is everywhere for survival. It's a universal thing. But what I feel is that the working pattern, I think in the South is much more easygoing, because there we work like 9 to 6. Maximum shifts are 9 to 6. Here we shoot sometimes 9 to 9, like that's a basic. So when I had initially started, I said, but then how do you have a life? Because you're working constantly. And in the South you do 5, 6 films a year. Here you do like 2, 3. So they balance it out. But I still felt that the work culture was very different here. Like, you'd work longer hours. And I don't mind it because I love acting, but I just had time. I just took time to adjust. Then in terms of the fans, I feel the South fan clubs are huge. Like, they are crazy fans. They love you to a point where, they feel like you're
God.
Yeah, you're God. So they do pujas for you, they'll have tattoos of you. I haven't seen it much in the North. Except probably for the Khans, because, we've grown up watching them and, we are also fans. So that kind of fandom is not there. Plus, they're very loyal fans. They don't keep changing. They're very loyal. So those are the two things that I've seen. But apart from that, I think both places have this thing of creating great content. So, or just they're all passionate about making great films. So I'm still exploring the North. So I still want to see what differences I will notice. But in the 3 projects that I've done, nothing more than this that I've seen.
But of course, as you said, down south things are, that different. And, when it comes to Bollywood, do you somewhere feel that, maybe over here, it also becomes quite difficult, in terms of survival, because it becomes quite chaotic. There are so many faces, there are so many people that, somewhere to get that recognition, it is a bit difficult.
See, if you're good at your act, I still feel you have a longer run. Like, looks can only take you so far. Of course, they'll take you somewhere. Then there are connections. Then there are obviously people who promote their own kids, which is fine. I mean, it's completely fair. I'll promote my child if I have one. So I think there are all those factors, and at the end of the day, I still believe in destiny a lot. No matter how much you try, if you're not supposed to be in a project, you won't be in it. So I think it's talent, but it's also destiny, and there's no point feeling sad about it. Just work on yourself. So every time I go to bed, I always think, okay, I've used all my hours, I've worked really hard, and that's all I can do. Nothing else is in my hand. So why cry about it? And I think I've been blessed to have those opportunities also. So I think it's a very personal question to each their own. But for me, I just live in gratitude and take every day as it comes.
And one memory that has somewhere like, not, been in your favor, or say a bad memory of yours where, you somewhere feel that, you felt broken somewhere and, and somehow you managed to, get back, but
I think there are some films where you just get replaced without really being told also. That hits you because you're like, at least have the courtesy to tell me, and not from sources that I think that's just indecent. It's not anything else, and that breaks you because you're like, dude, like at least give me that much respect. I mean, of course I've gone through that, not anymore, that won't happen, but I've gone through that, and I think it's really unfair to anybody to be treated like that. Yeah,
especially when you're preparing for it, and
you're really, I was really into it, and then suddenly I'm like, okay, then like, okay, fine, like I will move on, but at least just tell me on the face.
And one message for your fans out there.
I would just say that you guys have been so kind and so nice and so loving. Thank you so much for all your love. It means so much, and I hope that I don't disappoint you ever. Please keep loving and supporting me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rashi. It was lovely interacting with you, and all the best for all your projects, and thank you so much for your lovely time.
Thank you.